Now's the time to make them faces. Make them faces. Let
You're
me see if we
live on
can.
YouTube,
Yeah,
Jerry.
let me see if I can get us on here, man. Have I got us yet? Have I got? Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me see if I can pull it up. I want to be the first one in the chat. Am I going to beat everybody? Did you hear that? Hey, I beat everybody, man. I'm in the chat before everybody, so that's dope.
I was the first one to say something though in chat.
Oh man. All right. Well then fine. Then I'm gonna well, my thing's over there, so I already whiffed. Shoot, man. I was gonna try it, and these guys are already in it. Sam, Mighty, Tyler. What's up? Yo, hey, yo, nope. What's up, Desperado? Got Beer Geek Gamer in there. Tyler, Craven, Blake Daniels in it.
Blake Daniels.
Whoop whoop. What's up, guys, man? Good to see you out here. Friday night. We're gonna talk about when to get done with your ABV, man. Do you toss it? Do you keep it? Do you reuse it? Do you make edibles out of it? Do you go all the way to the end with it? What do you do? I've been vaping for a long time and have amassed piles of ABV over the years. And personally, I never did anything I liked about it. Troy's got a couple pounds worth right now, I think, because he was growing. So it can get a little nuts. But yeah, I like to take my stuff all the way to the end. And so if you guys like my Boundless guys, the California guys, I'm sorry, man. This is not about how you guys vape weed. Those guys like to vape a couple hits and toss the green stuff after the terps are gone. But we're gonna talk about how you get it all the way to the end, man. Like how you maximize that shit out, right, Troy?
What that was a hilarious call out, Jerry, calling out the boundless crew. I remember they actually brought that up at Champs. We were all vaping together, and they pointed out all of the weed that we vaped in our sesh. They were like, "Holy shit, look at all the weed we vaped in this sesh." And then one of them was like, "Oh yeah, Jerry would probably steal all this and vape it again."
I so would, man. I totally ruined my reputation with those guys. I told you that story, right? Where I was at their party.
And they told it to me as well, man.
Yeah,
That's
man. I
hilarious.
was I was coming out from Florida and it was still illegal out here. And I go out to Vegas and these guys are taking two hits and just tossing it on the table. And I'm like, what are you guys doing with that? And they're like, that's garbage. And I'm like, are you kidding me, man? I can go two or three more. That sounds great. I'm gonna take and I started collecting it. Of course, I was in Vegas and there's weed everywhere, and I looked like an idiot. I spent the whole night collecting ABV, and then I had all the weed I needed for the week without it. So, yeah, man, I know how
Yeah.
to I know how
Uh,
to make myself look bad.
see, that's the thing is it's kind of subjective. Like depending on your circumstances, depending on your weed situation, depending on your preferences, depending on the stone you're looking for, you may vape a little bit light on your weed. You may vape a little bit heavy. Some people save their ABV and eat it. Other people vape it until it's dark and then just throw it away. I tend to do a little bit of both. And tonight, I think I want to answer some of those questions. We want to talk about some of those questions, like how far should you go? Like that's subjective, so that's
Hmm.
answered. As far as you want to, you can take it as far as combustion if you want to. Some people do. Some people will vape it and then smoke it at the end. It's not very common, but there were devices created specifically for that. You know, not very
Bro,
many.
I did that back in the day. I'll never do it again. I've never tasted anything that tasted as much like ass as burning ABV. I mean, it was just weird, man. Like, I didn't like that at all. I did that once or twice. It was ugh.
Taste ass or smoking the ABV.
Smoking the ABV. Well, take your pick. I didn't like it. Just
Oh
awful,
shit.
man. Fucking that stuff, man. That was years ago when I did that too, man. Once I smoked it a few times, I was like, man, I didn't get much out of it. It was woof. Um, but no, Troy, man, I've been saving ABV forever. And I remember there was at one point I had a huge Ziploc bag of this stuff, and I was like, in my state, that's a fucking felony. Like, I'm an idiot to even have this around the house because they won't care that it's not fresh. You know what I mean? So, um, what do you got there, man? Oh, that's yours, man. Is it those coffee containers up there filled with it?
They're the big peanut butter jars.
Peanut butter jars, right on, man.
And what's funny is they're not even just full. I fill them and then I pack it down in so I can fill them again because I run out of space.
The B in your AVB stands for brick. You make a brick out of that shit, man.
Yeah, last time I had two of those filled. Actually, last time I only had one of them, one and a half filled, and it was 450 grams of ABV. And now they're both very tight, and I have a bag as well that's filled, like a
That
one
is
pound
crazy.
gallon, 1 gallon Ziploc.
Dude, the best thing I heard, and I haven't done it yet, is last time I was in the Zoom after chat, after our stream, I think it was maybe a week or two ago, those guys told me they were pressing their ABV. I was like,
Well,
what?
it's
That's
happened
crazy.
once. It's happened once, and I want to make a video about it. Pressinator has done it. So Pressinator, Pressinator, he rehydrated his ABV with like a wet coffee filter, and then he pressed it in a rosin bag, and yeah, he got like an 8% yield on squishing his ABV, and then he dabbed it. He said it tasted like butt,
Yeah.
but it got him high. So
Put them to
I'm
sleep?
fascinated by it.
Did
I
it put them
want
to sleep? I mean, that's what I usually use that for is nightcaps, if anything.
probably, probably.
Yeah, I would imagine. Dabbing ABV. That stuff will make you sleep, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it, but I'm gonna experiment a little bit, and I might get a better press before doing it. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, let's talk a little bit more setting the stage for like the definition and stuff. We talked a little bit about, there's the East Coast definition of spent, which is, in my opinion, done, like you're tossing it. And then there's that West Coast boundless spent, which is, that was tasty, but I'm done. And then there's all that stuff in the middle, and it's really kind of up to you. But like some people define it as like, I want to get everything out of it. Some people are into it like I want to get out of it everything out of it like in a microdose, like only one or two hits. Like how can you configure everything to just fully extract in one or two hits? And then I've talked to some people that take it a step further and they go, yeah, but I care about how much energy it took. Like if it's a real battery hog or a flame, like they're really into the whole efficiency, everything of it. So you can go that route too, man, and figure out, can you get it spent with less electricity? I don't do that one.
Right, right. Yeah, I would like to draw those lines as well. I want to figure those things out. I mean, I know it's subjective, and some people use the color, like they go by color. Some people go by vapor. Some people go by taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you're referring to is like the West Coast thing, especially the boundless thing. Like once it gets popcorny, like that's when a lot of people like I don't like this taste anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first 3 or 4 or 5 hits are full of terps, but then the organic material gets a little bit roasted and starts to taste a little bit popcorny. Then they dump it. But I think vapes have also changed and adapted over the last few years to help optimize, like because there were vapes, 5 or 10 years ago where you get that popcorny taste and your weed would not be spent whatsoever. Like you'd open it up and it's like, it's still green,
Mm-hmm.
but you're getting the popcorny taste. But vapes have improved and we've learned how to use them a little bit better. So I think those lines are out there.
Speak of improved vapes, I forgot my Mighty's fully charged over here. I need to pack a bowl.
I, I thought I was vaping on the Mighty tonight. Are we both vaping on the Mighty? So we when Jerry and I were making lists of vapes that could potentially fully extract, like because a lot of people ask me, like I don't want to save my ABV, I don't want there to be any green left, I want to vape it all, I want to get super stone, I want to get the heavy stone, and I want to toss it. Like what are the best vapes? And easy, any vape that can combust can fully extract. Any vape that's
Mm-hmm.
capable of combusting is like the easy way. Like that's if you can almost combust, that means you're getting super hot and taking it to the limit. Anything butane will be capable of full extraction. So anything that we don't cover on this list that's butane, just assume it's on the list.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're going to talk about sticky bricks anyhow, but Dynavap's the same thing. I mean, if you can take a torch to it, you can fully vape it.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna use the sticky brick runt as my final test.
The finishing vape. Your finishing vape.
We argued a little bit in the writing of this episode, Jerry, about the Mighty,
Mhm.
about i- is the Mighty a full extractor, or is what's spent from the ABV, is that still salvageable? Is there still things left in it? And tonight we're gonna push that test a little bit. So I'm gonna vape a bunch of bowls in the Mighty.
We're gonna
Jerry's
find
gonna
out.
vape a bunch of bowls in the Mighty, and then we're gonna take that ABV that's been vaped heavily at 410 degrees and vape it in other vapes like the Starry and the Sticky Brick Runt for me. The Vap Cap. You can use the Vap Cap. What are you using?
I'm going mighty, hybrid, and then to the starry.
Mighty Hybrid Starry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start in the mighty because you mentioned we were arguing a little bit. Um, I never get anything. If I take this to the highest temperature, there's nothing I want left. It's all gone, done, forget about it. And yet, it only goes to 410. So what does that mean? So we're going to take it and stick it in a volcano at 446 and see if the mighty really does get everything out of it, or if it's just
Yeah.
for a portable. So
Yeah. This will be a fun one. This will be a fun one.
this will be fun. And then the reason I chose the starry for the finishing one, you chose the brick because of the whole butane and you can go at it. I chose the Starry because it's a conduction vape. We'll talk about that some too, and whether or not they extract more than convection. But also because that thing goes up to 464. I don't know why, but it does. And so we can really cook the hell out of stuff. Troy's just going to town there, man. I want to smell it just watching you smell it. You look like you were happy when you smell it. He's got that happy look.
It smells like a root beer float.
That's the silver, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Super Silver Haze.
Silver haze, man. So now that you're growing, you're going to be like a total weed snob. Like that's dispensaries are going to suck for you. Like,
Well,
you know.
no, maybe a little bit, but it's gonna totally change my life as far as the weed that I vape, and even now looking at how I grow, I'm struggling because I understand phenotypes a little bit better, Jerry,
Mm-hmm.
and I just chose the seeds that I'm gonna grow on my next grow, and I'm growing. The plan is to grow 5 different strains in 2 different tents. So 6 plants in one tent and 4 plants in another tent, and have 2 of each strain, 5 different strains. But now that I understand phenotypes better, and I know we're off topic already, and I apologize for that, but we're stoners, and that's how it works. But now that I understand phenotypes, like I grew 2 of these Super Silver Haze, one of them is amazing, and the other one is just okay. Like one of them is like, holy shit! I wish I hadn't given away 2 ounces of this already, because I want to hoard it all for myself. This is. I wish I had kept a clone of it, and the other one is just okay. The 2 White Widows I grew were both great, but they're also just okay. Like they're not like wow worthy. Like and this one phenotype is just wow worthy.
What does phenotype mean? Like, what are you fucking talking about? It's just a
So
word to me.
like your mom and dad get together and they make 10 babies over 10 years. It's the same genes going in from the mom and the dad, but each child has different hair color, and
All right.
they grow up to be a little different, and that's kind of the same thing. Each plant has these little varieties that are within their genetic window, and those little varieties can make dramatic differences in the taste and the outputs and the terpenes and the cannabinoid profiles and all that stuff. So these growers, what they're doing is they're actually pheno hunting. So they'll grow 5 or 10 of one strain, finding the ones that are best, and then they'll clone that a bunch of times. So they'll take that as a mother just to have these really nice strains. So that's what you're paying for when you're buying these top shelf grows where they have these boutique flavors, is you're paying for somebody to go through all of that work and find the best phenotypes of a strain and then grow that for a few years so you can have the phenotype that actually tastes like blueberry muffins or whatever.
That's the part that blows my mind, man, is it's a year's process. That's dope. Man. So, okay, cool. I'll see you in a few years. We'll have it ready for you.
right? I mean, that's how it would have worked with the super silver haze. I mean, my first grow, I mean, it took me way longer than it should have, but if I had cloned it and then chosen it, I wouldn't be able to start my official grow with it until, damn near 10 months, 10, 11 months after the first seed.
Long time, man. We got to shorten that down. All right, so I'm a dosing capsule hunter right now. We should have one around here somewhere. I got dosing capsules all over the place. So you want them, you know what I mean? All right, so you're on your Mighty. Mine's at 410. What I love about the Mighty for me is when it's done vaping, it stops vaping. Like it doesn't just keep pushing out vapor forever. Like, I mean, I know when it's done because it quits.
Yeah, so let's explore that tonight. We're gonna have to vape several bowls on the Mighty.
Yeah, well, that'll be fun.
So this the first half of the session is just gonna be marathon Mighty time. just to
Those
build
suck.
just to build up enough weed to put it in another vape. So we're gonna vape on the Mighty until there's no more vapor coming out of the Mighty, right?
Yep. I'm gonna take that and stick it in the, well, for me, the hybrid. I'm gonna hit it hard too, man. We gotta blow through these bolts. So the other thing that's interesting about ABV is it comes out looking different depending on the vape. So like if you were to start in the volcano, it comes out a lighter tan. You get it into these things and it gets a darker kind of a brown. And then you throw it into a full, like this is a hybrid, you fill it into a full conduction vape, like the Starry. That shit can come out fully black. And here's the thing is when we talk about extraction, I'm not sure where the line is, but conduction extracts it differently than convection. And all I know is that the guys that I know that run around and go to the medical conventions all over the planet and that design vaporizers for medical companies like Bedrocan and stuff like that, those guys, like for instance, the vape that Bedrocan has that they're about to throw into hospitals, I think, or in the medical scenes where they're going to use them. They have got it figured out. They want specific temperatures. They want a certain amount of conductive heat and convection heat because they're trying to decarbox a certain amount. So they got the temperature, they got the convection conduction mix, and then they've spent tons of time watching patients and figuring out how much they need to pull based on this vaporizer and convection. And they figure they want the user to pull from 5 to 8 seconds. And they know that if they put this in this vape at this temperature with the way it cooks and they hit 5 to 8 seconds, we can have them to take 3 pulls and they'll get what they want out of this thing. But what was interesting to me is that they wanted the conduction. Like they weren't trying to build a full-on convection vape like we've been pressuring manufacturers to do for us hobbyists for years. They went out and wanted something that had a little bit of conduction in it, and that's after all the research and checking out what happens to the cannabinoids. And they check out before and afters on vapor based on what kind of heater it is and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm convinced that a certain amount of conduction is needed to fully extract everything, but that's just my opinion at this point.
Right. I used to be one of the convection snobs, one of the people that, oh, gotta be convection, gotta get away from the conduction until the hybrid vapes, really changed my mind because they have both. And then after comparing a few times, vaping, especially CBD, I noticed the difference with CBD. CBD was a huge noticeable difference for me. Vaping CBD at the same temperature in the Mighty and the Starry, like at 410, the Starry makes me feel more of an effect from the CBD flower than the Mighty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's a little more herb or the taste. I don't know, but I feel more effect, and I can actually taste the medicinal effect from the Starry on my lips.
Same temperature, right?
Same temperature.
Is that conduction?
Although I do like to raise the temperature with CBD. I like to vape it at like 440.
But I mean, when you were comparing
Yeah,
the
when I
CBD and the
compared,
Starry to something else, you were using the same temperature on
yep,
both.
yep, side by side, same temp.
No, that makes sense to me, man. I feel like there's times I can use a full-on conduction vape and get a little more stonier effects than if it was a full convection vape. Like convection will give me a little more racy sometimes. So no, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's what Stores and Bickle did. And Stores and Bickle's quest to make the perfect medicinal vaporizer, they started with a full convection volcano unit where everything was standardized. They knew the temp, they knew the airflow, they knew everything, and it was always the same every single time. And yet they came back and added conduction to their mix and created a hybrid. And then they came back afterwards and turned their volcano into a hybrid. And I believe it was because of that medical research and because of what they see going, what the medical wants are. So I'm dying to put this in the hybrid, man.
Mine's still
This
vaping.
fucker's done. This is done. I'm gonna put this in the hybrid, man.
Wait, is yours still producing vapor?
Nah, I just got it to quit. I've been hitting it hard and long, and it finally quit. Little barely wispy. And this does not look like something I want to vape either. Hang on a second.
Mine's-
As far as I'm concerned, I'm done with this. But this is we're gonna figure it out.
I may have a little struggle here. Mine's still producing vapor, but my cooling unit hasn't been cleaned in a year. I do the thing where I only Q-tip it out, so it's full of honey. It's like it's got a layer of honey all
Oh
throughout.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've seen you do that. All right, let's see if this is gonna show up. See if I can show you guys what I got here. So that's pretty dark. It looks darker than it is on that camera. Um,
Yeah.
but it's actually lighter than that. It's kind of a tan.
You're gonna need to vape like 4 bowls.
Well, I've got my dosing capsule here,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
and I use the hybrid with the reducer all the time. And the way I've figured out that works best with it is I leave the filling chamber with the reducer, not the dosing capsule, with the reducer on there all the time. Like I mean, it's literally on there all the time.
Okay.
Uh,
You get the
and
same performance with like a super bag?
well, I get as good as you can get. And I mean, look, that's just not a lot of weed, man. That's like zero point 0.2 max, usually about 0.17. So you just can't get it. I can get everything out of it, and it only takes about 2/3 of a bag to extract everything. It doesn't even take a full bag. But what I do instead is I top it off with some THCA powder that True Leaf started selling that I love, man. That stuff is great. And if I take one of these and fill it with fresh herb and I sandwich a little bit of that THCA in there or even some keef, I can get some keef here now. And then I throw that in that fully heat soaked hybrid. Yeah, dude, I get a full blown bag that's knockout and it's out of a little dosing capsule size. So that's how I've been real efficient with it over the last 3 months. It's been great. All right, so let's see what I get out of here, man. I've got this. Oh, I got to turn this up higher. I've got it on only 330. What a ding dong. I had the hybrid on and heated, but it wasn't up to high enough.
Okay. Mine is also wispy now. It's no longer producing much. I'm not
I'm
going to
still
show you
gonna.
mine, but it's
Yeah. Yours looks lighter than mine did.
I packed mine pretty tight because you know how I do my load size.
Yeah, you do. Mine was smaller. Oh, I see. Yeah, on the bottom it gets darker like mine.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely
you
not
just got that green top going on. That's all.
green tab. I'm going to do 2 bowls to make sure that I got enough to pack the Starry and the brick thoroughly. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate you encouraging everyone in the chat. Video a thumbs up. There are 95 people watching. Thank you. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. We're doing this every night, every Friday night, rather.
Once we get 5,000 subscribers, we'll actually upload a logo to the channel. That'll be cool.
I would like that. We've been working on one. That'd be cool.
All right, this is bowl number 2.
Well, are you just starting at 410 too? You're just going right to it? Yeah, that's what I was doing. I normally would temp step and do all three temps, and it's a lot of fun. But we ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got
We
time for that.
virus. Virus ain't got time for that. Yuck ain't got time for that. I know coffee ain't got no time for that.
Coffee ain't got time for that.
No way. No way.
Lynn, she ain't got time. Ain't time for that.
Sandy ain't
Samaj,
got time.
Samaj ain't got time for that.
No, not at all. A liquid. Liquid might have time, but no way anybody else does, man. I know Damage doesn't.
This is delicious.
Fog. So this is your favorite phenotype of all four of your doodahs.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Slow my roll.
yes. And what's funny is I did take a clone. Like someone told me, like I read about it. Like take a clone before you switch to flower. That way, if you have an amazing phenotype, you got a clone. Yep. Except whose dumbass kept the clones in the same tent and switched the schedule, and all the clones switched to flower with the mothers. Yep.
Oh no.
You
It sucks.
I did not think that one all the way through.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I was mostly cloning to like see if I could, to be honest. But
You're cloning to what?
to see if I could do it, like I cut off some trims and I dipped it in the cloning in powder and then I put it in the little solo cup and gave it some water and just set it there and ta-da! It took root and became a plant. It was super fucking
Cool.
easy, super fucking easy.
Dude,
And I
I'm
did it.
watching your mighty puff on the black background of your shirt and just the little puffs like out of here going poof. Little mighty poofs.
Oh yeah, I see a little stream. It's really the first 5 or 6 hits with the mighty that are the most oomphless.
Tell me about it.
After that, it's just kind of like almost spent. It's not fully spent, but it's not all that full of terpenes either.
Yeah, maybe it's a really good extractor. It just bangs it, front loads everything, and then just trails off from there. I want to see that again, man. That's great. To replay that action.
When I use my mighty on my bong, I was always impressed at the power of the rip. Like taking the cooling unit off, putting that glass water pipe adapter on at 410. After 5 rips, the 6th rip would be like no more vapor, or like it'd be wispy vapor and no taste, and that's usually when I would toss it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it pretty dark?
it would get pretty dark if I
Yeah.
was if I was using the little dosing capsule on the WPA to hold the weed down in the bowl. It'd get pretty dark.
Dosing capsule to hold the weed down. Okay, I was trying to put that whole thing together, man.
What do you mean? It's the glass water pipe adapter that I use, the one that locks down on
Yeah.
the Mighty, replaces the whole cooling unit.
Yeah.
The screen in that is up by like 5 or 8 millimeters, so there's a gap. So when you invert your Mighty on a bong, and you inhale, especially with my Dyson inhale technique, it sucks the weed out of the bowl. So you're only getting the convection of the Mighty, and you're not getting that conduction from the bowl. You're only getting the
Oh,
convection. But if you use that dosing capsule lid or the base in place, it creates like a spacer, and it holds all the weed down in the bowl, even when you're inverted with the water pipe adapter.
perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, boy.
Nice fix, man. Whoever came up with that.
I used to use the mesh pad, but over time the mesh pad starts to taste bad, and that's pretty rad. That it runs bad that it's not good for the fad of the times.
It's too bad the pad didn't taste rad. Couldn't keep up with the fad.
Right.
Only it had.
Plaid.
Oh yeah, man. I'm pushing the end of this. I could probably blow my bag too. I'm ready for that. I want to do some of
That
that.
sounds like a personal problem there, Jerry. Blowing your bag.
Does it? I didn't mean to sound that way.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
Crazy.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm about ready to do the first real bag test here. That'll be
Hey,
fun.
your microphone is red. I didn't know that.
That's because I usually always have it like, up. And then recently I don't know why. I think I got tired of yelling. I want to bring it further down. It was like way up here.
Blends in with the lit background right now.
Right? This is about done too, but not quite. I'm gonna hit a few more, but all right, so let's see here. Here's my hybrid. Here's my heat-soaked reducer. Gets back on there. Throw my little dosing capsule. Ugliest dosing capsule you ever seen, by the way. I don't know what I did to that one. There we go. Now we're on. All right, that's good. One more of these. That's pretty done. All right, so no, I want to turn it off. There we go. All right, let's see what happens here, man. Moment of truth. Did the mighty pull it off?
I'm excited to see what you're getting. So you vaped your Mighty 10. You did 2 bowls.
This is one bowl.
Okay, so that's the same
Packed
way you
into
do
a
your
dosing
Mighty 10.
capsule.
Put it in the volcano, and you're vaping it at 410 or 455.
It was 410 in the mighty. It's 446 on the hybrid right now.
All right, 446.
That's probably like it ain't gonna get any thicker now, is it? I should stop.
I would let it fill up.
Do you think? I mean, I don't expect to get a full bag off of it. I wouldn't get a full. I would barely get a full bag fresh. You know what I mean? I think the more I blow in, the more I'm just going to weaken whatever's there. Not much to it, but there's a little.
I didn't hear it blow up the first time. What kind of voodoo is that shit? Did you mute yourself when you blew it up the first time?
That was the first time.
Okay.
Well, that's visible vapor. Very, very wispy, but it's there. Pretty neutral taste. No taste at all. I wouldn't expect to feel anything from that.
That's harder to test there though.
I know I'd have to give it to somebody now and go, yo, hit this. Tell me what you think.
Somebody with a low tolerance but an active endocannabinoid receptor system.
You got to activate them.
I don't know, man. That seems to be a theory because some
Never
people
heard
say
that.
that you don't get high your first time because the first time your endocannabinoid system isn't actually like sensitized yet.
Some people don't get high the first time. Not everybody. I'm not sure why. That's the theory, huh?
Yes. All right, I'm calling this spent. I'm gonna put it at my little post-it note.
I'm gonna empty out the mighty next to this hybrid, and we'll be able to see how they look. Of course, you guys all look dark because this I can tell the way this is going to turn out.
Here's my 2 bowls worth.
That looks really dark. It's lighter than that, isn't it?
It's coffee colored. It's dark coffee.
See, the shit coming out of my mighty is not dark coffee dark.
Okay. So now I'm high.
That's right, man.
So is that 2 or 3? I think it was that
was 2 mighty bowls.
the 2.
Yeah, you ain't done 3 yet.
It takes 2 to make me forget how to count.
Okay, so these don't look any darker to me. Like, let's see if you can tell from here. Where'd my thingy go? I'm good at this, aren't I? So, Mighty, Volcano, they both look lighter than that, but they to me, they look the same. Like, they don't look any different. And all I did was take this at 410 and put it in that and go to 446 for about half a bag.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take all that shit and stuff it into my Starry and see what happens.
I'm stuffing mine into my Starry right now. After I empty out my Starry, because some asshole didn't empty it after they finished it before.
I wish it tasted like French toast, Lab Pong. Nate, he's drinking sweet tea tonight, man. I thought it was a beer myself. I said, what you got for a beer? And he goes, sweet tea.
Yep, it's sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
I needed some caffeine. I need some caffeine. All right. I'm gonna make sure that.
Right. This madness is going into the Starry.
All right.
Just put this on here.
I'm gonna load up my Starry. I'll show you loading the Starry.
Oh shit.
So this is the Starry. It's a battery operated. Hey, this is the Planet of the Vapes version too.
Right on.
It's got a little oval bowl, similar to the packs. Pure conduction. Pure conduction. This is my ABV DCB from the Mighty. Been vaped at 410. Loading it into the Starry.
Mine's overflowing, but I'm gonna cram it in there, man.
Yep, I loaded mine overflowing.
This shit, man. Who's in here for Boundless, man? Who's in here, man? Are you like just fucking yuking looking at this right now? I'm about to vape that, boys.
we should do a Boundless episode and have them on the show.
Oh, we should. I would love to hang with them, man. That would be great. Jesus, look at that. Tell me, you just can't wait to get into that. Yum.
Oh. Rachel Ray is gonna come over and vape this with me, and she's gonna go yum.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Jeepers. All right. So we're going to the top on this one, man. 446. So 464 on this one, right? Is that what we're doing?
464, yeah, man.
We're taking it to the top. Do we want to take it just to, it's Eric, great man. Do you want to take it to 446 first, or do you just want to go straight to the top?
I'm going to 464.
All right, then I am too. I'm at 464. Yeah, Eric, you gotta have some of this, man. You come, dude. This could be you and me, man. We could be hitting this together, Eric. It means it's all mine. That's great, man.
Amazon makes dab pads. Yes, they do. Except they sell them as like silicone baking mats.
Yeah, isn't that what everybody sells them as?
All right, man. I'm up to temperature. I can already smell it. It smells different.
Mine's there now too, man.
We should have called this stream revaping ABV. Ooh. That would have been the better term.
Come on, vape that ass. I'm gonna let mine sit for a second. Kind of. Oh, you're getting. Yeah. See.
Yeah, it's ABV.
I wasn't as much or as bad as I thought it was gonna. I thought I'd get a little more, but I'm gonna let it sit some more, man.
It's really sour. It's I got that like that bitter, sour, or whatever.
Bitter is what I get out of it.
Yeah, it's like bitter. It's almost like what's it remind me of? Something bad. Reminds me of something bad.
Look, man, this feels like when I'm hitting it, I should be exhaling more vapor. Like it's a little rough for what I'm getting. Usually, it's got a almost smoky taste to it, man. Like, I mean, this thing takes it all the way. It really does. It's gonna be black as shit when it comes out.
Yeah, it's gonna be black as shit.
Like, I'll regularly take weed that I've vaped at under 400 and set it aside and hit it later in the evening on one of these and get a little nightcap that puts me to sleep. But if I ever go over 410 on anything, I don't keep it. because this is what happens. This is this shit.
This
It's
is
this shit.
this is pretty bad, Jerry.
Eric, even I don't like this, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna do this again.
I'm getting vapor. It doesn't feel like it's 50 degrees worth of vapor. You know? It doesn't feel like it's 410 to 450, 464 worth of cannabinoids and terpenes. That or there's just not much in that range.
I'm starting to get a little bit of dopey feel though.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up from the taste.
I mean, I'm probably getting a dopey feel from all this shit, but it just started to kick in now. But fuck me, man. That I thought I was gonna get more out of it.
I thought I would get more out of this too. To be honest, like I knowing that the Mighty only vapes at 410, it's almost been a negative point on the Mighty for me. Like I wish the Mighty Plus or Mighty 2 or whatever, whenever it comes out, I wish it would go to 420 or 430 or something to get a little more extraction out of my weed. But after doing this, I don't know how much merit that argument really holds.
I tell you, bro, everything that comes out of my mighty when it's done, I toss it. Even just looking at it, I mean, there's nothing there I don't want. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they nailed it. Those guys, man, when Stores and Bickle makes a vape, they test the fuck out of it. And I don't mean just test the vape, they test the vapor. I mean, they got Arno going in there and whoever else they got going in there and testing what's in the vapor. Like what happened to the cannabinoids, you know, what came out and they figure out like how to fully extract at the lowest temperature and still get everything that matters. And I think they kind of nailed it with that thing at 410, man. Especially after putting that bag on the hybrid at 446. That was weak, man. Yeah, I've let this sit for a full minute and a half. Let's see if I can get anything out of it.
Yeah, this I don't know what benzene tastes like, but I would imagine it's this.
Yeah, this is toast. This is shit. I'm turning it off. I'm calling it.
I can feel like an extra deep, like woo high from it, like a spinal restructuring kind of like high. You know what I mean?
I was getting the stony thing, like where I just kind of felt that little extra pop in the head, you know, a little stony. I can't say that it's from this. I mean, it happened after like my second hit from it, but it's what I typically associate with a conduction. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at what this thing did, man. Let's see what this thing did. Sorry about that. That was me.
Tastes like cardboard. Like it tastes like I'm vaping paper or eating paper.
I think you're being generous.
It tastes like butt, Jerry. Don't get me wrong, but the
Cardboard butt.
yeah,
How's that?
oh, it's dark. It's very dark. Wow.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's espresso dark right there, man. Okay, now that is as dark as it looks, folks. Look at that.
Ooh.
Come on, Eric.
Okay.
Would have been you, brother.
Let me show you mine.
Oh, I showed you mine. Show me yours.
Oh, mine is so black that it almost has like a carbon black, ashy, left behind.
Like a Dr. Dabber switch black?
Like you see it there on the paper where it kind of.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a fucking failure.
Bro, that's what we need to do.
Oh, no, not tonight.
We need to do an honorable mention switch charcoal session. Make up charcoal. I can make charcoal with my switch. Just because it literally like goes ridiculous. What do you think? It's the perfect show for do 1 cup in that thing. What do you think?
You can get that out. Oh God, Jerry. The next step in the plan was to put this in the sticky brick and to see if I can get any vapor out of it with a sticky brick.
Yeah, you should do that. You won't get anything out of it, bro. That's full convection. Even though it's a torch, you won't get anything out of it.
I was expecting you to say, "Don't even bother, dude. You're just gonna combust. Don't risk it."
Hell no, I want to watch. It's all I'm always doing that shit and fucking up, man. I'm just fucking with you. Don't put it in there, man. You could go from the hybrid to your brick, but I wouldn't go from 464 on the Starry to your brick. Literally nothing will happen except air and fire and smoke.
I agree. I agree. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna risk it.
That stuff's nasty, man.
Yeah, this is toast. There's no more vapor. There's no more vapor coming out of this. So since we're changing the shit up on the fly, Jerry, and we've
Yeah.
only been streaming for 50 minutes, I'm gonna answer the question: does the Mighty fully extract? I don't think the Mighty fully extracts. Fully extracts, like at 410. Like I think I could still eat that. Like I think I could still save all that up and eat it, and it would still make me stoned. I think it would be a comatose type stone. Like I would probably sleep for 20 to 20 hours or 2 days, and that may not be for me. And before Jerry, like last night or 2 nights ago, whatever it was, I would have argued with you when you said that the Mighty is you can fully extract and throw it away with the Mighty. I would have said no, 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 no. That's really good shit. Save all that. You're only vaping to 410. But after this, I actually feel pretty comfortable vaping at 410 in the Mighty and throwing that shit away, to be honest.
Yeah, right on, man. I'm glad because yeah, it really it's all about your definition, man. I mean, is fully extraction at 100%? Can you even get to 100%? It's like who the fuck knows. But for me, it's all about do you want what's left? Do you want to put the work into it? And that's like what I was saying. There is nothing left in a mighty bowl that I want to put the work in to get. And I know just from vaping nugs in it because that doggone thing vapes. It penetrates the nug, man. You pack a whole nug in there and just go all the way through. It will flat out get all the way through and vape it through.
It penetrates the nugs.
Because then I drop it out and I crumble it and it's just all the way through. It looks just like the outside. It's amazing. So penetrates the nug. All right, so I'm gonna grind something up here and then stick it in Lost Switch. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Right now, well, since I had vowed to vape that shit in my sticky brick, I feel like I should at least vape my sticky brick.
With what? What are you gonna put in it?
A torch.
No, I mean, are you gonna what weed? Are you just going fresh?
I'm gonna go fresh.
Cool, go fresh.
I'll go fresh, and then maybe I'll vape what's left of it in my ESS V43. See what happens.
Oh, because I love Troy, man. Troy's gonna find a way to break out that vape. Now I'm telling you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That one will work.
I mean, it's what comes out with the sessions. But did we talk about the whip thing?
Don't know.
Have you seen the whip change that I made on the SSV 43?
No, I remember you dirtied one up or something, or yeah.
Everyone's been giving me shit about the vinyl whip or whatever. So I upgraded to this one, Jerry.
Oh, over the outside? Interesting.
It's a little bit bigger. It's a 7/16 internal diameter, so it's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit more rigid. It goes over the outside, and it makes the whole vapor path more wide, so it has more airflow.
You've got more airflow, and,
More
and of
airflow.
course, it just keeps up. Of course, that thing keeps up. So you're now cashing a bowl in about 1.2 seconds.
I had to turn the heater down again.
Yes.
I had to turn it down below noon. And no, man, check it out. I'm getting somewhat of a combustion phenomenon to happen, and I've had it happen twice. It happened today in my Instagram live stream. So if you want to see it, you can watch my Instagram live stream, IGTV today, 420 Vape Zone. Here's how it happens. I pack the bowl, put it on my bong,
Mhm.
I pull away as I'm hitting it, still inhaling. Hold it up in the air, trying to hit it, trying to get all the vapor out of the bong. The load is still producing vapor. as I let off, as my lungs are completely filled with vapor, you know, and I'm dying, it combusts.
Oh,
Like several
away from the
seconds
heater.
away from the heater. Like I've seen it. Like I've seen
How the fuck could you do that?
I don't know.
You
I
pull it
don't.
away from the heater, you keep heating it, and it combusts.
It's happened twice now, and it happened today on the Instagram stream. It happened last night in the Zoom with people watching, but they weren't like watching to witness something, you know. So we're all high in a sesh playing mini golf, which by the way is amazing. So if you like playing miniature golf virtually with your friends, hit the 420 Vape Zone Discord up and
That
play
sounds like a lot of fun.
golf with your friends. It's badass.
I like the looks of that.
We've been playing every night. We're starting the league. We're gonna start like a tournaments, stuff like that. We're gonna get high and play mini golf.
Dope, man. All right, I'm gonna show you something.
Kenny whoops my ass so bad at that. Kenny is the golf master.
That's an induction cup from a switch, and you put your leaf in there. I grind it up when I put it. You don't have to, and then you just kind of want to pack it in. They like it in there tight, and then you don't have to fill it up either. But then you can tell this is the one I've been smoking in. Well, you can't from that view, but anyhow. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna hit this, and then I'll show you what it looks like uh, from the from above like that. But anyhow, yeah, man, we're gonna go into some herb green. I haven't done herb on this thing in ages.
I can't believe you're breaking out that thing for herb right now.
Because we're talking about ABV, man. I want to show, but
You're yeah. That thing.
I'll tell you what though, smokers love this shit. It does. The smoking's potent off this thing.
I can confirm.
Not vaping.
I had smokers try it, and they also didn't find the flavor offensive. They thought it was a cool contraption. They balked at the price, but
No.
that's just a matter of testing the wrong market, you know, on my behalf. I took some random weed smoker and said, "Hey, taste this. What do you think of this?" You know, this person who spends $30 on weed every month and smokes weed out of a $20 pipe that they've had for 3 years finds a
You're gonna hate
$400
this
product too
thing
expensive.
for $400.
The same person who really loves the Hydrology 9.
Jesus. This is fucked up.
What'd you do?
Okay, this is still going, man, because it's a smoker.
Oh, you combusted it?
No, it's just doing what it does, man.
Oh,
Here, I'll show you real quick because you got to see on this camera now. Check out the
pyrolysis.
camera over here because you can kind of see what's going down. Shit, I got no light in there, man. Hang on. Gotta get some light in there. Gotta see what's going on in this thing.
There you go. Show us that bunghole.
So can you see how fuck me, man? Okay, there we go. Can you see how it's got a little ring around the outside a little bit?
Yeah, where it's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's conducting from the edges, and it's not burning, but it's almost burning at the edges. And now that it's starting to do that, it's going to hit harder because it's going to really start to crush through the bowl that way. And then when it's done, it comes out like a fucking charcoal puck that's real fragile. It's kind of funny.
Ah, I see. That's very nice, Jerry. So would you say you have to pack that down pretty tight to get that thing to function nicely with dry herb?
You can't get it to function nicely with dry herb, but you pack it down tight for the conduction part. I mean, it's not going to vape, it's smoking. But yeah, you pack it tight because it's a conduction thing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit this sticky brick.
Jesus, the taste is just. Fuck it. I got to turn all the way up and get this over with.
Tastes like butt with bad mayonnaise.
Shit. I'll tell you what I was doing. There were sometimes, man, when I was vaping so much, it just nothing got me higher asleep. There were nights a couple years ago where I would go downstairs and grab this thing and do some bowls on the highest temp on here because it's as close to smoking as you can get without smoking. and
I
it's
remember that. I
knocked my
remember
ass
that.
out.
You convinced me to try it, and I did the same for like 3 nights, and then my wife complained. She's like, "That
I'll
thing
bet.
stinks. Like
Yes.
your office stinks.
You're not vaping in there.
What do you do?"
Jesus. I don't even want to. God damn it.
My wife does
Oh,
notice how different vapes
fuck.
stink differently. Like there'll be
This is.
times where she's like, "Oh, whatever you've been vaping on, it smells different. It stinks more."
I'm not even gonna hit this. I'm just letting it do its thing. I don't like it. But I love it for dabs. I don't like these dry herbs in here, man.
You made the bed. Now you gotta lie in it. Don't bother trying it.
Let me I don't have my tweezers either, but I gotta see if I can get this thing out. Oh yeah, I got this.
My screen is clogged. This is not a good, not a good.
Oof, oof, Jesus. No. No. That's just crazy. Marketing, man.
It's
not
hard
right.
to hit with clogged screen.
Okay, so now I'm gonna show you what comes out of this fucking thing.
Show us the Dr. Dabber Switch charcoal creator.
Yes. I don't know if I can get a puck this time around, but I will get the.
Now, is this real weed, Jerry, or is this CBD?
Oh, this is all real weed tonight.
Okay, okay. Was the ones you vaped earlier? Are those also real weed?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I don't hold back on the weed. I'll do CBD dabs, but try herb them all night long. All right, so let me see here. Can you see what's going on here? I mean, it's darker. There you go. You can see the difference there. That's a legit difference. You can see it's sort of real dark brown on the big one, and the little one's just all totally black. And like whereas this stuff is real. I mean, that's you're kind of grinding it up into dust, but then when you get this stuff, it like that feels like ash. It's not ash, but it's because it's not white, but it's like charcoal when you. It's crazy. So it's just different, man. It's weird. But anyhow, I had to. That was I don't know why. It just came to me. That's the perfect time to do that. That's it for the Dr. Dabber experiment on vaping dry herb tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh man. Okay. What was next, man? We ran through that one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I know that I was going to talk about how I like to get the most out of my Cloud Evo.
Yeah, when I brought up the topic, actually a lot of people mentioned the Cloud Evo as like their finishing vape. Like they'll vape in something and then they'll put their weed in a Cloud Evo. And like 2 or 3 people actually mentioned that. I think it was in the Discord or on the Instagram stream today. It was interesting.
Well, it goes way up there, man. I mean, like I usually only vape on the thing at about 1 to 2, and you can go way further if you want to crush something. I mean, it goes all the way to. Does it go up to like 4-ish or something? I mean, I'm on. It goes all the way to 5. Damn. Okay, yeah, so there's some headspace in here, man. Like I was sitting on. I'm gonna put it up to 1. I was sitting on 1230 just to sit here and warm it up all day. But what I always did in the Cloud is in the Evo is I would usually pack nuggets. You know, like pack a nugget in there and take my time getting to the thickness. And then I would take a little stir tool and just while it was in here, I would pop the cap off and then just kind of go in there and stir it real quick and then put the cap back on and go to town. And I don't recommend that. I don't do that anymore. Because what happens is every time you stir it, you break up little bits that fall through the screen. And that's how you get those little flames out of your Evo, because it'll every now and then it'll fall down into that hot zone and it'll ignite. It scares the shit out of you. It has a little poof to it. It makes a noise.
Wow.
That's dope.
I gotta clean my Evo. I looked down at mine with a little light, and my Evo was so dirty.
Yeah, they can get that way, especially if you do what I was doing. I mean, I spent a good amount of time stirring with the bowl in place, and it was a bad move in terms of taking care of my Evo. Like,
I had some concentrate mishaps.
oh, those are bad.
Yep.
No fun.
Yep. I don't consider the Evo to be a good concentrate device. I think it's a good for dry herb. Leave the concentrates out of it.
I love it for dabs. I haven't done it in a while, but I do it exactly like Sabo says in his video that I couldn't find on YouTube anymore. I've got some other video that's pretty close, but they miss a couple things in it. And when I do it like he says, it's fantastic. What most people screw up first and foremost is they draw too hard. If you
Hmm.
draw too hard on it, you suck the stuff up the sides. You don't get much of a hit. What you do get burns all the shit, and your stuff's ugly and all that. That's the biggest thing: either loading too much or drawing too hard. If you can avoid those two things, and then hit it when they say to hit it, which is you drop that thing down in there, and once you see it starting to form vapor, then you put it on and go to town. I've had it excellent every time.
Yeah. See, I can't operate within those boundaries. I can't.
It's always
You cannot give me open airflow and a dab and say don't hit this hard, especially with the bongs on an Evo. And also with the Evo kind of works better with a medium to hard hit with flour for me. So that's weird. It's weird that the two are like two different hit it soft for dabs and
man, that tastes so good.
hit it however you like for
I
flour.
love hitting this thing, man. It's just like a bong. Fucking tastes great. Mm. This is a special piece I got to show you, man. Doesn't look like much. This was my beta hydro tube. It was one of the first hydro tubes ever made. Probably one of the first five or so. And the shit will leak out of here. Like this does not like we had a lot of water leaking out of these before they figured out how to do it right. But it's thick as balls, has a nice shower head perk down here, and then not much water up top. So it's just a single circ perk. But man, the flavor's so good. It's thick as shit. Like it's a strong piece of glass, but I don't ever overfill it or it'll spill through. But this thing's fuck, that's got to be almost 10 years old, that piece of glass. I don't know.
And that's for the Evo. Oh, you're hitting it. I guess I should have narrated while you were hitting it. I thought you were just looking down at your shoes, making sure.
No, man, that tastes fantastic. Man,
What were you hitting? Evo?
Evo on like one with a low diffusion circ perk. I mean, or shower head, whatever the fuck that is. That's always been a great tasting hydro tube. Looks good to me. I was ugly as shit for a while. I cleaned it up real good. But so anyhow, when I want to, because we're talking about full extraction, you don't need to stir in the Evo, but in my opinion, if you want to fully extract and toss it, you're going to stir.
Yep. I agree.
And I like to pull it out, like I said, otherwise you fuck it up. You can burn yourself, but don't stir it with the basket in there. Take it out and stir.
I think when it comes to full extraction, you have to tolerate some hassle. Like no vape is going to extract it all without a little stir or a bunch of hits. You know, like there's nothing that's gonna hit it once and be done with the whole bowl. Like you're gonna have to stir it or you're gonna have to hit it a bunch of times.
Well, and the thing is, you've got to decide what you want. Like, I used to tell people all the time, I stir every convection vape because I just like to stir. And the reason I like to stir is because I like to get the best hit possible in terms of taste and extraction. And I don't want to sit there and take two good hits and then seven half-ass hits to fully extract a bowl. If I can just stir it after each hit, and in 4 or 5 hits, I've had 5 killer hits and it's done. So that's the way I like to vape. But then, you know, I was talking to somebody who's we've been trying to figure out this everyone we could not stir, and that bowl that's coming out soon. I was stirring because there's a stir tool on the bottom and it's convenient, it's easy, and I stir everything anyhow. And I was like, this is great, I love it. I gave it to somebody who's been trying not to stir for a long time. So he went without stirring. I had no problem at all. So now I hardly stir the damn thing. It's all about your expectations. I take about 2 extra hits than I normally would, and there's a little bit on the bottom of the load that isn't quite finished. But there's not much there. There's very little there. It's not worth me pulling it out, stirring it, putting it back in, and getting this half-ass hit. So anyhow, we're back to that whole what's your standard thing. And for me in the Evo, I don't have to go past 3 o'clock with stirring to get all that I want out of it. But if you want to go crazy dark, you can, man. So, what's up, business? None your business. I'm gonna turn this up to 3 now and see what happens. Here we go. If I can find well, I won't do it tonight, but I need to find my quartz nails because I do like dabs on this thing. It's fun, man. And I want to make it clear, like, Troy, you come from dabbing from a classic dabbing standpoint of, torch banger, drop it in for a hot load, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's where you come from. I come from throwing it on a bed of herb in my dryer vaporizer and coming up from there. So you and I look at dabs completely different in terms of what you would consider as a real dab versus what I consider a very satisfactory dab, because I don't need to do what you do to be satisfied, and you would never be satisfied with some of the things that I really enjoy. So it's kind of interesting that way,
Right. What was the first vape that you tried concentrates in?
Fuck. I mean, I haven't had concentrates until the last few years, really. So, I mean, for a long time, I just couldn't get it. I guess maybe this might have been one of the first ones I did. Shit, dude, I don't know. Like, I don't remember doing it in the Extreme. That was my first vape ever. I don't remember doing it in the Extreme. I don't remember doing it in the Silver Surfer. That was my next vape desktop. This is my third desktop, the Evo. Yeah, I mean, shit. I went straight from not using a whole lot of them to the Vapor Brothers 2 back there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just nothing but that's your kind of dab, actually. Have you hit one of those before?
Uh,
Oh, you'd love it, man. Thing is up like 800 degrees ceramic cup, and you just drop it in the dome, and it hits right at, and you start sucking. You'll love it, man. That thing, it's a scary vape.
I'm excited.
That's probably the closest thing to a dab that I got for a vape.
Flying Tank in the chat says Dynavet clears in one hit. I don't think so. I don't think the Dynavet clears in one hit. You have to, I
A
mean,
bowl of herb, not for me.
you have to. I mean, you can hit it multiple times on a single heat up, and you can heat up a bowl multiple times. So it's not quite what we're talking about with clearing it in one hit.
But you get super full extraction in that Dynavap. By the time I'm done with that, that ain't going to anything else.
Yeah, you can take it black, and it's not even weed anymore. Like, it looks like it's.
Yeah.
Especially if you respect the click and just keep doing it, it gets dark.
Yeah, dude. That thing will work.
Yeah.
In terms of one hit, though, there aren't many of those out there.
Yeah, there's really not. I mean, the sticky brick, if you put a small load in a sticky brick and you hit it aggressively, you can clear it in one hit, or maybe 2 hits or 1.5 hits. If you're really, really good, you can get the majority of it in one hit. Like if you're looking for like the quickest, hardest extraction, a sticky brick is where it's at.
This feels pretty done. It's not completely done, but it's pretty done. I think I'm done with that. We're going to take a look at that. I took that to 3. 3 on the Evo with a grind, not a whole nugget, and a little bit of a stir. Let's see what we get out of that.
With Dynavet TI tip set to shallow bowl, no problem clearing it. What type of load are you putting in?
That's dark.
And you're clearing it in one. Hit. You're clearing it in one hit with the Dynavap shallow bowl. I don't know.
Oh, set to point one. I mean, set to the point. That'd be 0.025. If he's got it on the smallest screen size, yeah, I could see that. I
You
could.
think
I mean,
so?
I wouldn't get much of a hit out of it, but I'd extract it all.
Maybe not the way I pack, but maybe if you don't pack tight. But I pack tight. Like I pack my Dynavaps tight.
I'm kind of a middle of the road pack on that thing. I want to. I charged up to Firefly too, and didn't get
Wood
to
sense. Yeah, I
show
think the
you
wood
that.
sense can clear in one hit with the right size load and the right technique. The Lotus, which is still butane. Anything butane is capable of it. I mean, some of the butane vapes that look like sticky bricks aren't as capable. They're not as agile. They're a little more buffered. But the sticky bricks are agile and you can rip a bowl in one hit if you know how to ride it. What
Dude,
you put in your Firefly? In your
whole
Firefly
nugget.
whole nut?
Whole nugget. It's one of my favorite things to do in the Firefly. And yeah, I usually do it about like that. I try to get it so that it's doesn't have much for gaps on the side because I want to try to get the air going up through it as best I can. And that's going to be a good size right there. So
Here's my SSV43. It's set to less than noon. Less than noon right now.
less than noon. That's an interesting setting, man.
I was running at 12:30 literally a few days ago with a different whip.
All right, I'm doing a nugget, man. So we're going to go low at like 350. Really enjoy that.
Recently combusted in that one. Nice and clean. This is my last clean bong. And it's not even Monday yet. I'm gonna have to clean my bongs before Monday. Monday is my bong cleaning day. Every Monday I clean all of my bongs and fill them up and set them up for the week. And today's Friday, and I'll
Hmm.
probably be cleaning my bongs tonight or tomorrow. It's not a good sign. Been combusting.
Man, I'll tell you what. That that was a nice low temp hit, man. Remember that first video we did with the all the low temp bags on the that's what this felt like right there, man. That was good.
Nice.
Because I've got it on 350.
Jerry, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm expecting a package, and once it arrives, it's gonna be difficult to stay motivated for being in this stream because I'm very excited for a package that's arriving.
Yeah, tell me about it. What do we got coming, man?
It's a new grill.
No shit.
Yeah. It's the same color as the one in my background here, this blue one.
Oh, cool. We're gonna have matching babies?
Yeah, but it's bigger. It's bigger than that one, and it's new. This one here is old. The one I got is just made. It was made 2020. They relaunched this color as a collector's edition this year. So I had to buy it. I had to buy it.
Dude, that's dope. So it's supposed to be here any minute now?
Well, it's scheduled for delivery today, and I was gonna shoot a video for it when it arrived, but I expected it to arrive before the stream because usually FedEx delivers stuff at like 10 a.m. Not
Oh,
today.
there he is.
No, no. Yeah, and it's a 26 incher. Hawaii Johnny knows what's up. All right, I'm gonna do some green to white technology here.
I just flipped the nugget in this thing. I hope you guys saw that. So I just flipped the nugget. I'm gonna take one more hit at 390 and then I'll crumble it up.
Here's how much weed is in my bowl. Nice and green. Say goodbye.
Oh, it tastes so good, man. I'll tell you, this is a good taste on paper. I'll give them that. Love this taste on this thing. All right, so out with those nugget, and then I just give a little crumble action to kind of give it what was going to be a grind. Only now it's not sticky anymore, so nothing's left behind in the grinder on my fingers for the most part. It's not, if it's sticky or it doesn't want to work, then you're doing it too soon. You need to give it another hit.
Word. Word. All right. I'm gonna hit this. This is the most extraction I can get out of any vape in one hit, out of one inhalation. This is the most extraction, the most vapor. Cheers.
I want to see that. That's a big ass hit, boy.
And since we're using the post-it note, oh, long riot. Oh, I got a long riot, Jerry. Got a long riot going on. But it's all good though. It's all good. Just kind of like talk your way out of it. Get the vocal thrown, get the little throat singing, and then you don't have to cough. It works out pretty good.
That was beautiful, man. This one's for you, Yuck. Thanks for the reminder.
What? I'm gonna put this on the post-it note so you can see. Just
I was talking to the chat.
Oh.
Marcel, man, I like the Firefly 2 Plus better. It's got better airflow. I thought it was noticeable. I thought it made it fun again. It was too restricted the second time around, and this third time, I think it's got enough. I'd like it to be more, but it's got enough. Yeah, so you got a little bit of a rainbow going there. Oh yeah, that's finished up. So whatever green was there was probably on the bottom of the load.
It was on the very edges of the screen.
Would you hit that again? Would you stir it? Would you put in anything else?
Normally, I stir it and hit it one more time, and I get about a third of a hit out of it.
Yeah.
Like sloppy seconds is what I call it.
Yuck.
Yep. But as far as one hit, that's most I can get.
I'm on 430 for my top ends here.
It's blackened. Blackened.
Now we're getting some vapor, man. Oh.
Yeah. You have a stir again if I hit it again. I'm not sure if I can probably get one more whiskey.
Jesus, I'm probably gonna stir it too. Motherfucker. I wonder if I got any. Yeah, I got that classic.
Nothing.
No, all right. I did get a little darkened on the bottom of this thing. Firefly is interesting, man. They got this screen in the bottom of the thing, and they don't have a hole in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? There's no hole in the middle. There's just a bunch of circular things with holes. And what you got? Oh yeah, there you go. Wait, that's the same thing?
It's just after a sloppy second and a third.
Oh,
So
right on.
I hit it 3 more times just to make sure that it's finished off. And that's all that's left. That's all that's left.
I forgot what I was talking about, man.
Firefly 2 hole in the screen.
Yeah. So check it out, man. So I wonder if it'll show up on here. Bet it will with my handy dandy flashlight.
Hey, I can see myself in that vape.
right? Can you see the whole? How's that? You see the whole pattern?
Uh, Kinda. Yeah.
So there's one, two, three, or four circles of holes that are bigger each time, but there's not one in the middle. And that's where you get your charring on the bowl is right down bottom deep center. They didn't put one in the middle because all the hot air comes right up there and then it wouldn't disperse. But instead, it comes in and smashes into that base plate and just makes a hot spot. So you've actually got
Oh,
this little conduction hot spot in the bottom of your full convection vaporizer.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's very fascinating,
that's
Jerry.
my theory anyhow. Because it happens to it all the time. I get that little spot there if I go too long and hard on it.
Do you have a problem going too long and hard often?
If I get a hot spot,
Get hot spots, yeah.
don't want those. Nope, nope, nope.
So what
So
would you say?
anyhow,
Do you think there is a zone where you can vape your weed and get high on it and save your ABV and then actually have an enjoyable high on it as well? Like if you were
uh, well, I think that anytime that I have to be purposeful, and like I said before, stop it below 400. If I stop below 400 and save what's there, that'll be a nice nightcap. I could blow up a bag that'll just kind of put me to sleep. Um, but if I take it over 400, it gets to the point like if I get to 410, 420, now I'm in the zone where it's a lot of work for little return, and I just don't want it.
yeah, yeah. Shit, yeah. I'm gonna have to rethink my ABV strategy because I've been saving it all, even the dark stuff, and I know, I've made edibles with it, and I know that the high is a high that I don't really like because it just makes me really, really, really sleepy. Like, s- I'll sleep for 14, 16 hours, and I'll wake up, and I'll still be groggy for the next 10 hours.
Hmm.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be high or faded. Yeah, fuck that mic, Jerry. God.
Sorry, man, you didn't want to hear that sneeze.
Oh, you're sneezing.
Yeah, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. So next week, Jerry, we're gonna talk about the riser, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna hit all the riser vapes, the EQ, the Argo, the Solo, the Air, the riser Army. That's what we're talking about next week,
Solo 2 and Air 2, we'll do it all, man. I love those vapes.
dude.
First,
We should have broke one out tonight to see about how efficient they are, but since we're hitting them next week, we'll just bring it up next week and talk about that and how dark the ABV is from those vapes. But those are fun vapes to cover.
dude, Extreme Q, my first ever vape, man. Always have a soft spot. And then my first electric portable was a Solo. So because I had the Magic Flight counts. So maybe my second was a Solo. But the first of that kind. Started an army of vapes over here. So I love that thing, man. I hit that Solo for years, man. Great vape. Ed Stem, man. I've still got my original ones. I'll break them out too. That'll be fun.
I've met so many people that tell me the same story. Like they had their riser Solo for so long. I mean, I met people that had their riser Solo from when it came out in like what 2007 or some shit. It's been out for a long time. So they had it so long, they used it, it died. They replaced the battery themselves. They tore it apart, replaced the battery themselves, and then it died again after like 3 years. And rather than searching what else is on the market, what are the vapes out there, they were just like,
You
"Fuck
know, so
this! I just want the latest Solo." Like they didn't even bother. And multiple people, I've heard multiple people tell me the exact same story. Like my Solo died. I'm just gonna buy the Solo too, right? Like that's the best. Nope. Like
yes and no.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's really the answer because the erasers are good products.
We're gonna get into that next
We
week.
just
That'll
don't
be
talk about
fun,
them
man.
often, and there's a reason for that. And then we're gonna talk about that next week.
talk about that. There's a reason for that too, but no, good vapes, man. And I sit down with one long enough, like we're gonna do on Friday, I'll get nice and buzzed.
We're definitely gonna get buzzed next Friday on our risers.
Every vape should have this fucking brush. This Stores and Bickle brush, man.
Those are handy brushes. I need to get mine
Best.
back to my reach distance because right now they're all up on the shelf somewhere. My shelves are still in disarray. I got a lot of work to do, Jerry.
You do.
I do.
Well, dude, I've been waiting to use my herborizer and hopefully be able to get it to work on this camera because I couldn't get the focus to work well, but I hope I can get that going tonight. So we'll see. I'm gonna pack the herborizer and see if we can do see if we can capture the bowl vaporizing and watch ABV be created. We'll see.
You want to move the herborizer to the after sesh?
No, I probably won't be in the after sess. I've got some family in town.
Because I was wrapping up the stream.
Oh, well, if you're wrapping up, wrap it up, man. I do this all the time. We'll do it next time.
All right. Well, next week we're vaping on the herbizers, and then leave a comment down below. Tell me about how far you vape your ABV. Talk to us about if you've been eating your ABV and getting experiences other than getting the comatose high, and if so, what temperatures do you vape at?
That's right.
I'm that starry hit really made me stony. I think like the
It'll do it.
466 or whatever it was.
But don't forget all the fucking SSV 43s you were pounding as well. So
Right, that's right. That speed bowl, I think it's hard.
yeah, you've been doing a whole lot more than just. But yeah, you started early with that stuff's got us going early, man. That was a good start.
I combusted in a sticky break. That's why I had the dab.
Everything got you tonight, man.
I had my combustion dab, and there was crows earlier, and like as soon as the stream started, there was crows, and I was watching the chat to see if Sammy was gonna call us out, and she didn't call us out, so I decided to let it go. But technically, there were crows, Jerry. So are we gonna abide by the rules? I feel like we should have at least one dab because there was crows.
Yeah, let's do a dab, man.
All right. My man.
What am I gonna dab on? Oh, I got the peak right here, and I just brought it up. So
let's have a dab. Do you have some dabs?
I have dabs.
You gonna have some real dabs?
I have yeah, it's perfect time for one of these. I got a nice sativa dab. Get me started for my night.
Let's see a sativa dab for the night. All right.
You guys gonna dab with us in the chat? Little goodbye dab, little see you next time dab, little miss you dab.
Yes.
Let's do some of that.
I actually have cottonmouth. I'm so high I got cottonmouth earlier.
That's my boy. What's the highest temperature on the peak? Is it white or red?
White.
So green, so blue's the lowest.
Yes.
I want to go green. Go green.
Team green. Oh, look, you know where my dab tool is? It's on the microphone.
Brilliant.
Brought to you by Rogue Waxworks on the Etsy store. This guy makes little dab tools and scoopers out of like reclaimed wood and reclaimed cabinet handles and shit like that. Awesome work.
It is nice looking. You know what? I'm not gonna do the peak. Just
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk?
All that junk. I'm gonna I'm gonna use the Rome.
Oh, cool.
And the reason I'm ditching the peak is this dish is not clean enough for me right now. I need to clean it first. I don't like that.
Roam if you want to.
Getting to be a little bit of a dab snob here. So putting in the Rome. So anyhow,
you just said you're getting to be a dab snob, and then you said you're putting in a Rome.
I thought that was funny. Well, what I mean is I looked at the nearest 4 machines and I grabbed the cleanest one. That's what I was trying to say. My lighter's not on. ever since the last week, and the after the chat afterwards, hitting those ligers, man. Oh, I had it on here all week. It was great at my desk. I love that thing, man.
Ligers. Such a fun word.
Right? So anyhow,
Pretty much my favorite animal.
I'm going to 725 on this one, and I'm ready when you are. Are you torching yours?
I am torching mine. Yes, I'm gonna do a cold start.
Froze, man. You froze. Get that thing going.
I froze?
No, you personally. You just kind of went, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm fucking high. I'm like in that time warp zone where if I pause and if I look at something or if I linger on a thought too long, the whole world just goes from like here to like whoop whoop to here, and then I have to like readjust. Like
You
I'm like, oh
travel
shit.
through it. Yeah, man. You
Yeah, like
travel through it.
yeah, like everything that people say just like goes out. Like, you know,
Got your whole bubble going there, man. I love it.
sometimes that happens. Fred
Yeah, it
Fred's
does.
skills in magic. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
funny. All right, are we going here? Are we going?
Mandolin is all right. I'm glad somebody got it. Jerry didn't get it.
The mandolin.
We're going. We're going. Ready. Gonna take this thing off some sweet jumps.
Oh yeah, you go.
Look at that. You can see my. See, I have a really small head now. I'm like that dude from.
I just saw it. I was staring at the dab too long, and I went, "Oh, there he is, little head Troy."
One, two, three, four, five. Cheers.
Hit it.
God damn, these dabs suck.
I love watching you, man. My man. I turn this up.
What up? What up?
It's funny watching you, man. Start to sweat and rubbing the eyes and everything.
Man, it's funny you mentioned that. Let me tell you something after I reheat this. The other day, I was scrolling through Facebook, cringe, sorry. And I stumbled upon a cannabis streamer on Facebook who I had seen before. Like, this guy is familiar. I've seen this before, but he was just, now he's using his real name. And he was streaming in one of the various cannabis groups I'm on Facebook, which I don't advise doing, by the way. Like if you're interested in connecting with like-minded cannabis users, I don't recommend doing it on Facebook because there's not a lot of them there. Join the 420 Vapes on forums or the Discord if you're looking for shit like that. But on Facebook, sorry, I digress because I'm a little bit high right now. A little bit high. Scrolling through the Facebooks, see a dude that I recognize. I'm like, holy shit, I know this dude. And I started watching him. And I knew immediately that I recognized him, but it took like a minute to realize where he's from. Back before I was deleted on YouTube, I was watching this dude because he was like a weed tuber. And when I went out and like watched all of the weed tubers to see you know, what they were doing and how they're creating content. This was one of the ones that I actually like connected with and actually could tolerate. You know, I watched his videos, and he got deleted too in that first scene when YouTube wiped out myself and all the other cannabis channels. He got deleted as well. I got deleted. So I never like got to. I lost my entire YouTube watching recommendation and history and all that stuff. But I mean, he lost his channel too. And then I just stumbled upon him on Facebook, and it's pretty badass. Just to like randomly connect with somebody who was a creator and lost his shit and at the same time I did.
Oh man.
I don't know where the story was going. I'm sorry. I'm fucking stoned.
Right, man. Well, this has been the longest ending to a show ever. You ended the show. I said, wait, let me let my herborizer. You said I just ended the show. Let's do a dab instead. This has been great, man. I love that dab. I'm feeling it right about here.
Well, we had to have the crow dabs because that was from that happened in the beginning of the show. No, it wasn't Crutch 420. It was Stank Boy 420. And on that note, thank you for session along with us this happy Friday.
You guys are dope in the chat. Love you, man.
Fuck yeah! See you next Friday. Usually there's an after sesh, but Jerry has family in town, so he's not gonna after sesh. So I will in the 420 Vape Zone Discord. There's a Zoom channel. I'm gonna pop in there for a few more bowls. So if you're on the Discord, pop in there as well. If you're not on the Discord, you should be on the Discord. Get on the Discord.
Great peeps, man. You'll love them.
Indeed. Happy Friday.